Hi everybody, my name is Christina, Tintin the model. I'm going to be doing a little makeup tutorial with my newly launched makeup line, and Nkwazi is spending the day with me. Welcome to my home. Hello, it's me again, and I'm just about to show you guys a simple soft glam makeup look that you can achieve using tinted cosmetics. I'm here with an amazing team from Nkwazi, so stay tuned.
So, Tintin,
yes,
you just got back from a trip to Namibia. Can you tell us about what that trip was all about?
Namibia, those are my people. So I start from the beginning. My brand was the official makeup sponsor for this year's Windhoek Fashion Week. So, big achievement for Tinted Cosmetics, big milestone, I think, for a Zambian brand. First Zambian brand, actually. And I think it's the first African brand. I'm not sure, I don't want to lie. But basically, we went there with a team of makeup artists, and we were the ones that were doing makeup on the models for the 3 days of Fashion Week. And it was a wonderful experience. It was even better because every product we used in the shoot was from my range. From foundation to powder to setting spray, literally everything was a tinted cosmetic.
And speaking of big goals, big achievements, we're coming to the end of the year. Mm-hmm. What are the goals that you set for the year that you've managed to achieve?
Yeah. This is such a funny question because when I'm setting my goals, right, I'm always like, this is crazy. How am I gonna do this? But somehow, God always comes through for me. This year I wanted to relaunch the makeup line, which we did, because initially we started off with this baby. This was our first lippy of this magnitude, and we only had the 5 lippies, and then we started off with the eyeshadow palettes as well. So actually, when we got invited to do Fashion Week, I feel like that was a little push from God because I'd been procrastinating the entire year to expand the range, and so I thought I can't go to another country as my brand and use another brand's products on the model. So that was a big push for me. Another goal that we achieved was a skincare line. I've always been big on skincare. In my career, I've worn a lot of makeup in my lifetime, and my skin was not happy with me. So to be able to launch a skincare line that people have accepted and are enjoying was a goal that I think we're smashing.
And what inspired you to start a makeup line in the first place, even before Namibia Fashion Week?
I think it stemmed from frustration, if I'm being very honest. I feel like this is a safe space and I can be honest, right? It stemmed from frustration. Throughout my modeling career, I think I could count on one hand the number of shows that I attended where they did makeup on my face and it looked good. I would always look gray, I would always look ashy, they would butcher my makeup because a lot of these makeup artists from the bigger shows don't know how to deal with black skin. A lot of brands are only now starting to be more inclusive with their products to cater for people that look like you and me. So it stemmed from a point of frustration, and I was just like, can't keep looking gray, in my 30 seconds on the runway. So that's, I think, where it started from. And then it was a little passion project, and then here we are.
And can you just sum up this routine you're doing for us now?
So before y'all came, I did my skincare routine, which is, it looks like a lot, but it's not. But now I'm just mixing my foundations. I just came back from holiday, so my skin complexion is a little tan. So normally this is the foundation that I would use, but because I'm a bit sunburnt, I'm just mixing the two. And I'm going to use this to shape my eyebrows and put foundation on my face. And then I'll walk you through everything else.
Okay. What are some beauty tips and tricks that you've learned throughout the years?
Less is more. If you have your eyebrows done and your lashes and your lip balm, you're literally good to go. And I love that the girlies are sort of getting into it now. Not a lot of people are doing like the full-on face beats, and even now that's what I'm saying, I'm showing you guys like a soft glam look that you can achieve, but less is more. What else? Ooh, you can literally use any product for anything. Typically, right, I'm using foundation now, but normally you'd use concealer to go under the eye, but I'm using foundation. You can use a lipstick as a blush. You can use eyebrow pencil as like a lip liner, or to create like a dimple or like freckles. You don't need to have 240,000 products in your bag. If you have 3-4 good products, it's literally all you need.
What challenges did you face when setting up your business, and how did you overcome them? Or how are you overcoming them? Because it's an ongoing process.
I think I underestimated how expensive it is to start a business. Fine, you're passionate about something, you've got, the charisma, the zeal, but I just didn't realize that every day I would be paying like one bill or the other. That one caught me off guard. So I think the financial aspect has been a little bit interesting. I did only recently learn to get an accountant, right? Like, Tintin, you're good at modeling, but you're not good at accounts. So hire somebody to do your accounting to make your life a little bit easier. I think that really has been the main challenge. The other one is, I don't know if I can say this on camera. No, I'll stick to that one.
Say it.
Should I say it? I don't know what it is about Zambians and feeling a bit intimidated by somebody new on the scene, but I've had an interesting experience with that one. I mean, I feel like 2, 3, 4, 7 great brands can coexist, right? Look at a market. There's like 15 marketeers all selling tomato, but they all have business, guys. There's room for everybody at the top. So I think that one also, it caught me off guard, but that's not on me.
Okay, so similarly, what life lessons have you learned in your career as a model and while establishing your own cosmetics line?
Life lessons. Just do it. There's never going to be the perfect time. There's never going to be enough money. And the more you procrastinate, right, the longer you take to get to your destiny or your goal. Because I've always lived by this notion in life that we all have like a goal. We all have a reason we're here, right? And that reason is always going to be in the same place. So the longer you take to start, the longer you take to get there. It's not moving. You're also not moving. So just do it. Just do it. You will learn along the way. You will fall. Get up. This is not my first rodeo with makeup. I mean, I've been in the industry for 3 years, 4 years maybe, and I think now we're only getting a hang of who we are as a brand, as Tinted, and what we want to offer people. So just do it.
What are your favorite products from your cosmetics line?
That's not fair. It's like asking a mom who her favorite child is. That's not fair. I love you, all my babies.
Top 3. Top 3.
Top 3, that's that, yeah. The foundation. Are you seeing how it's sitting like skin? It's so dewy and light, and like, I'm not even gonna use all of it that I put on my hand. I might have gotten a bit excited. Foundation is definitely my favorite. This baby here, the Joanne lip balm. Guys, get rid of your FBI lip balms. This is the truth. And it's so big, so like literally you have it for a while. I'm gonna show you there. For all my girlies who like a soft look, this is number 2. I think number 3 would have to be the blush I'm going to be using a little bit later. It's so perfect for girls and women that have my skin tone. So you don't look pink, you don't look like a clown. Those are my top 3.
Society's idea on what beauty is always evolving, but how do you define beauty?
feel like if I don't get this right, the look my mother will give me. How do I define beauty? I think it's gonna sound so cliche, guys, but I think beauty is your heart, to be very fair. You can be so physically attractive but have an ugly heart, and somehow it just always represents, it always manifests in like your demeanor or your actions, whatever it is. No matter how beautiful you are, if you have a nasty heart, I don't think you're beautiful then. I think you're attractive, but I don't think you're beautiful. And with the way society's beauty standards are always changing, right? Right now we're in the phase where like the melanin girls are winning. People are making music about it. Next week it might be the light-skinned girls winning. This year it's been the BBL honeys enjoying. Next year, slim thick. So you can always adjust, I think, to the ever-changing beauty standards. And in the same way, you can always change your heart. Yeah.
What do you think is your best feature?
My best feature? All of it. I'm kidding. What is my best feature? You guys are asking difficult questions, huh? Yo.
Were you about to say your feet?
I was about to say my feet. I was about to say my feet. Fun fact: I'm quite tall, but I wear size 3.5 shoes.
Wow.
So everybody's always so fascinated by my shoe size. I think for me that's always like, if you have nothing, we're meeting for the first time, right? We don't have any conversation. I'll be like, I'm a size 3.5. Are you? And then we're best friends after that. So it helps with like conversations. I think that would be my best feature. I'm also trying to be modest and not talk about anything here or here. Yeah.
Okay, so you actually answered one of my upcoming questions, which is, what's something about you that surprises people? But can you give us one more thing?
The fact that my mother is a pastor. A lot of people don't see that coming when I tell them that my mom's a pastor, and that's why I have strong spiritual values, strong Christian values. That's always a shock. A pastor's kid, a model. So that one also just, it rattles people a little bit. Yeah, feet and moms.
Okay, so how did your family feel about you going into modeling then?
It was terrible. Yo, guys, you know the thing about African parents, right? I'm sorry, mom, dad, I love you so much. But you have to be like, to make them happy and proud. I think now it's changing a little bit, but you have to be like a lawyer, a doctor, an engineer, an accountant. So if you do anything outside of that, worse off in the creative space, then it's considered, oh, you're wasting your time. But not just modeling, music, production, videography, anything that's creative. To parents, it's like, I just wasted money on your school fees. I remember my dad once told me, you're gonna end up as a janitor. I was like, let's not be dramatic. But my mom, I think, took it a little bit better, because I feel like their fear also was modeling, right? There's such a negative connotation to the industry in general. It's associated with prostitution, it's associated with being dumb, it's associated with all these negative things, right? So also when I tell people, to answer the previous question, that I studied law, it's quite confusing. It hits them as a shock, like, oh, you have a brain and you use it. It's like, yeah, but I'm not happy doing that. I'm happy doing this. But my mom was a little bit more understanding, and I think that comes from a place of, she was so confident in how she raised us that she knew that I wasn't gonna get up to like any funny business, you know? Yeah.
So if you hadn't ended up as a model, if you hadn't ended up, with a makeup and cosmetics line, what do you think you would have done?
Probably something else that's creative. And I say this like not to disregard anybody's passions and loves and everything, but it's a 9-to-5 job. It's just not for me. And it's funny because I thought you get into business and you're gonna have more free time. No, business is like a 24-hour job. But when I say 9-to-5 job, I mean like sitting in front of a desk or in front of a computer, making billions for somebody else, and then getting like a little bit of it. I would have maybe been a designer, I feel, but nothing academic. Nothing academic. Yeah, maybe a designer.
So what have been the most rewarding and the toughest aspects of running your own business?
Toughest aspects. You don't get time off. Zambians also don't understand that when you knock off at 5, you've knocked off. You've got clients that are messaging you like at midnight asking about a product, and because you're sort of new on the scene, you have to give them that attention. Otherwise it's going to be, oh, she only responds to celebrities, or she's so rude, or I messaged her and she didn't get back to me. That really confused me. Who's that? Joy. Sorry. You ask again and then I'll answer again, right?
Sure. Okay. What are the most rewarding and the toughest aspects of running your own business?
Okay, toughest aspects. I thought I would have more time. I have no time now. I have to be more intentional if I want to meet my friends or see my family, because it's like your firstborn, you know, it's taking up so much of your time, and you have to give it your time for at least the first 3-4 years, you know, before it's like set in stone. Bills. Yo, guys, they almost took me out. Oh, you're like, this is not what it looks like in the movies. It looks so much simpler and happier. You're always forced to evolve and become creative in how you sell your brand. I've also struggled with social media for my brand, because even my own social media for Tintin has always been a struggle, because I only put myself out there if need be, if there's like a job involved or whatever it is. Otherwise, I don't like people knowing too much about my personal life. So I think I carried that energy also to my brand and would post like once a week. But that's where the money is, that's where the clients are. So that's been a bit of a hard aspect. The most rewarding is people coming back and saying, oh my God, my skin has improved so much since I started using your skincare line. Oh my God, your foundation sits so nicely. Just that, the messages and photos from clients, recommendations. Now we're getting clients solely off of recommendations, not even social media posts. It's, oh my cousin uses your products, or my so-and-so uses your products. So that's been very rewarding. Another rewarding thing is my parents now being like, you are onto something, you know, they're really super supportive now. Another aspect is, I think, my parents being like, okay, you were onto something, and we're glad you stood your ground and you followed your passion and you followed your dream. Even when I'm cash strapped, I'll be to my dad like, I need money for this, my shipping is in, my this is this, and he'll give it to me without a complaint. And it's always like seeing my parents so proud of me in this unconventional space makes me so happy. Yeah.
Okay, you mentioned the time aspect, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when you do get some free time, what are your favorite ways to unwind? And what do you do for self-care?
I love to cook, guys, which I think also shocks people a lot. I love to cook, and I'm really good at it. That's why I don't go to a lot of restaurants, because I'm always like, they could have done this better and they could have done that better. So cooking helps me relax. I'll literally just call the girls and be like, come over to my house, I made A, B, C, D, or what do you guys want to eat? And I'll spend hours in the kitchen making, it's my love language, making food for people, not eat any of it, by the way. I'll just eat a little to prove that it's not poisoned, because it's a bit suspicious, right? In Africa, they cook for you and then they don't eat. You can meet your ancestors quicker. So that helps me relax. I love to do skincare also. So normally I'll start with like a cleanser, but we're out of stock. I love those words. And then I'll go in with a tinted toner. And then I'll go in with like my serum, my retinol, vitamin C, hyaluronic acid serum. And then I'll go in with a moisturizer. We're sold out. Love those words. And then I'll put on my face mask, tinted face mask, and literally just sit, have a glass of wine, and unwind. That's what I love to do in my free time. I'm not a clubber. I'm not events girly. I'm a home girl. I love me some home.
Okay, I noticed you have a lot of books around the house.
Mm-hmm.
What do you like to read? What are you reading at the moment?
John Grisham, right, used to be my all-time favorite author, but also that was in law school, so it's a bit cliche. It's like everybody who's in law school loves Suits, right? Aside from it being a great series. And then I discovered Paulo Coelho, who's my favorite author. I'm currently reading The Alchemist for the 7th time, because every time I go through another chapter, I'm like, I missed this, and this is a good life lesson. I feel like everybody at least must read that book at least once in their life. It's such a brilliant book. That's what I'm currently reading. I don't read a lot of motivational books because I feel like it's the same song. How many times are you going to be told that you need to work hard to get a result, you know? So I don't read a lot of motivational books. I don't go to a lot of motivational conferences because once you hear that song once, it's literally the same thing said by different people. So I prefer self-help books and something with depth.
I actually notice you have Atomic Habits on the table.
Mm-hmm. I've read it twice. You know what? I'm a creature of habit, right? It's the same thing with movies. If I watch a movie once and I like it, I would rather watch that movie 100 other times as opposed to watching a whole new movie. It's the same thing with books. I would rather read the same books over and over again, and as opposed to starting a new book, unless it comes like highly recommended.
What's the best advice you've received? Wait, I need to ask that again. What are the 3 best pieces of advice you received when venturing into business?
3 best pieces of advice. Number 1 would have to be from my mom, and she said, always stay prayed up. So I'll always start my day. With a prayer. I give God all the glory. I dedicate my business solely to Him. I mean, I'm putting in the work. Obviously, we're not going to take away from that, but I always like to remind God that because He put this idea and this passion and dream in my heart, He has to see it to completion. It's His promise to me. The promises of the children of God are yes and amen. So I always stay prayed up about my business, about my life, and it's quite important, guys. I don't know if I'm speaking to anybody here, but there's a lot of stuff out there, and you'd rather pray than not pray. I'll just tell you that. Second piece of advice: do not touch your business money. And it's such a good piece of advice. Initially, I was like, why would you tell me that? Of course I'm not going to touch my business money. That would be silly, right? And then the money started coming in, and I was like, if I take out, when I do my gig with so and so and so, I'm going to put back. And then but it's a very slippery slope. So don't do it. A third piece of advice would be get a mentor. No man is an island. You are not the first person to do what you're doing. There's seasoned people out there, experienced people out there. Why not get this information from them, right? My uncle always says, sorry, I'm very big on family. My uncle always says in life, there's 2 ways to learn. The easy way and the hard way. The easy way is to learn from other people's mistakes. And the hard way is to learn from your own mistakes. So wouldn't you rather speak to somebody who's been in your position, done all the things they were not supposed to do, did all the things they were supposed to do, and are willing to give you this information and to teach you these things? So get a mentor.
Were there any bad pieces of advice that you received?
No, I'd like to believe I'm surrounded by good people. I don't think I received any piece of advice that was questionable.
How would you sum up your experience of walking the runway in Milan and Paris in 3 words?
Sensational. Oh, damn. And I'll start with sensational first, right? I want to delve deep into that because I always told people around me, I'm going to retire from modeling when I walk the biggest runways in the world. I didn't know how it was going to happen, but I said to my God, I said, Paris, Milan, London, New York, whatever it is, you have to make it happen. And I met an amazing man along the way in Kandayatu, who I've been brand ambassador for quite some time now. And when we started, he was like, I can't afford to pay you, girl. I got no money. And I was just like, okay, that's fine. But he did say, wherever I go, you go with me. And he got invited to do Milan Fashion Week and Paris Fashion Week. And he's like, I'm coming with my brand ambassador. They were like, no, we have models here. He's like, then I'm not coming. And then they were like, is it that serious? He was like, yes, it is. And we went to Paris Fashion Week and Milan Fashion Week. So it was sensational. Another word, exhilarating. Guys, like, dream. Like, I'm telling you, dream. The world is so big. You think you've walked great fashion shows, right? And I've done a lot of fashion shows before those. And then I saw that runway. And then I just saw how differently people do things there, how seriously people take fashion there. And I was like, I want more of this for myself. So sensational, exhilarating, and unreal. A lot of the times in our room, KB and I would be like, dude, we're in Paris. And I'm like, yeah, it's giving Jay-Z, if you know, you know. But a lot of the times we were like, oh my God, pinch me. Is this real? Is this real? How did we go from changing? He didn't have a studio. We had no space. I was living with my parents. How did we go from doing fittings in the car park at Levy to being on one of the biggest runways in the world? It was unreal.
Third word?
That's the third one. I said sensational.
Sensational.
Exhilarating. And unreal.
Oh, unreal was, I didn't realize. Unreal was. Okay. So, I actually saw you earlier this year at the Mutomboko ceremony, by the way. It's like, oh, that's Tintin. So tell me about your travel experiences. What are the best places you've traveled to or cultural events you've been to?
Okay, I'll start with cultural events. That was literally my first one. I just woke up one day and I said, Tina, you're a big person. You can't be this uncultured in life. You can't be so excited to go to Mexico because you want to eat tacos and wear some brosa. You can't be excited to go to Italy because you want to eat pasta and you want to eat the pasta and experience the culture, and then you have such a rich culture right around you and not experience that. So that was my first experience. I want to do nkwala, potato. That's where I'm from. This is so embarrassing. Embarrassing. Are you not embarrassed? I also want to do ukusefia pangwena, but I've only done Mutomboko, and it was quite an interesting experience. I remember those guys, the ones splashing the powder. Some of it got on me, and I just said, I don't want to go out like this. because I just didn't know what it was. I was like, what in the voodoo is this, you know? But somebody explained to me it's literally just powder that they get from like the riverbanks, and they smash it and they sprinkle it out for good luck and all of that. But like, because I was so uncultured, it was a bit of a terrifying experience, but it was also quite a lovely experience. Best place I've been to in the world. This one is difficult.
Let's say in Zambia and in the world.
Okay. Best place I've been to in Zambia and in the world. Best place in Zambia. Best place in Zambia.
In the world.
In the world. Best place in the world. What are we doing? Best place in Zambia?
Both. In
Both.
Zambia and in the world.
Okay. So I'll start with my best place in Zambia. What is the best place in Zambia I've been to? They'll show me this one. I think I had a beautiful experience in Lower Zambezi. It was a good experience. They have some amazing lodges there. The safari experience was beautiful. I mean, I've done safari experience in like Livingston or whatever it is, right? But that one was a proper experience. I think South Wangwa also comes really close, but Lower Zambezi for me takes the cup. In the world, yeah, this one is a bit more tricky. I'm a traveled girl, guys. I'm a traveled hun. Best place I've been to in the world. Can I do top 3 maybe?
Sure.
Yeah? Okay, good. Number 1 would have to be Cape Town. Guys, that place is beautiful. I don't even want to go far. Like right here, you can literally take a bus to SA and then make a plan from there. Cape Town is so beautiful. Number 2, Egypt. And don't take what you see on TV so literal and so seriously, because when I say Egypt, you're thinking, the bombings and the what. It's such a beautiful place. I was in a place called El Guna. Beautiful, secluded island, or man-made island or space or whatever it was, and it was just phenomenal. This one is a tie between Zanzibar and Mauritius. But I think Mauritius, Seychelles maybe? No, Seychelles. Seychelles takes the cup for this one. Do we do lashes? We did say soft glam, right? Do we? But you know what a powerful lash just does? It just...
Let's do the lashes.
Let's do the lashes, right? It just elevates the look. I hope today is not the day that this lash will embarrass me, because sometimes they be fighting. The girls be fighting.
Oh, actually, can you tell us about the process of getting your makeup line alive? The makeup and the skincare, like the process of picking the products, the formulas.
So I've been blessed enough to have like an amazing team from where we get our products from, and it's quite a big team. We have like actual chemists that are coming up with these formulas. So they'll come up with a formula, give me a list of ingredients that I think they go well together, mix it up, send it to me. I'll test it on either myself or my friends or my relatives. There's somebody that doesn't have the potential to sue me if if it gets crazy. And if I don't like it, then I send it back. If I like it, I give them the green light. But half the time, I'm very particular. So half the time, I'm always like, change this, change that. Do you see first, guys? Do you see? Like, lash, no lash. I mean, this is fabulous. This too, but like, I digress. So they'll come up with a formula, they'll send it to me, they'll send me a list of ingredients. Half the time I'll be like, okay, talk to me like I'm a 6-year-old, because what are all these formulas and big words? And then it's back and forth. It's a very tedious process, actually. It takes months. And then the shipping also takes months. So we're trying to find a way around that. But I have an amazing team. I have an amazing Asian sister-in-law also, who's made the process much easier because of language barriers also. Time difference has also been kicking my booty, because you wake up at like 8 and they're halfway through the afternoon in China, and they're like, okay, so we talk tomorrow, no? That was terrible. You need to cut that out. Why did I say that? But yeah, it's quite. You have to enjoy the process. You have to enjoy the process. But it's lovely. I have a lovely team. They help me. They make my life so much easier. They know what they're doing. I want to get more Zambians involved in this process, though. From my lips to God's ears. Yeah.
So looks like the look is coming together. Mm-hmm. Is this the completed look?
No, girl. What do you mean? Is there more? You never know with tinted cosmetics, right? I'm just trying to make sure the lash is okay. You know, you can end up looking like you've got a lazy eye. It's giving, what's that guy's name from the movies? Do you know the guy with the lazy eye? The big guy, the big black guy.
I know who you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about, right? You guys know who I'm talking about. I just don't want to leave the house looking like that. So I'm trying to fix this baby real quickly, but it's fighting me back. Okay, we're close. His name, it was right here.
It's Forrest Whitaker.
Forrest Whitaker. I'm so sorry.
Great
Forrest.
actor.
He's fantastic, but I didn't want my lashes to be giving that. Is it looking good? Is it looking good?
Looks fabulous.
I think let's not do too much, you know. Let's not do too much.
Soft glam.
Soft glam. I'm gonna finish off then. I'll finish off with a setting spray, tinted setting spray, and everything sort of comes together. This just makes sure you have that like dewy finish and like your makeup stays intact for as long as possible.
Fabulous. And when we see you again, you will be dressed up
Yes.
for the day.
For the day, I'm booked and busy, guys. So I've got an event I'm going to. I'm gonna like wear this beautiful dress from Posh Glam Boutique. Shout out to my girl, and I'll see you guys in a few minutes. Hey besties, so this is my completed look using all tinted cosmetics from start to finish. Hair by Deluxe Hair Boss and outfit by Posh Glam Boutique. I think I'm quite ready for my event now. I look fabulous, I smell fabulous, I feel amazing. Thank you, Kwazi. It's been real, but I gotta go.
One last question before we let you go.
Okay.
You started off telling us what you've achieved this year. Mm-hmm. Just tell us what you plan to achieve for 2024.
To sponsor Milan Fashion Week, or Paris Fashion Week, or SA Fashion Week. 1, fingers crossed from my lips to God's ears. 2, to have more outlets all over the country. 3, to open up branches and stores all over Africa. I have such a big dream for Tinted. I feel like if here in Africa we can use Fenty Beauty, Kylie Cosmetics, Kim K Cosmetics, in Europe they're going to use my brand. In Asia they're going to use my brand. Just you wait. Just you wait. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Au revoir is giving like Paris. Isn't it fabulous? Thanks guys. It's been real.